Hello everyone, welcome to my tapping channel. Today we're going to be tapping on the negative self-talk to try and transform it into self-compassion. Because let's face it, we tend to beat ourselves up all the time and often we don't even know we're doing it. And we could do with a lot more compassion towards ourselves, because when we can have compassion for ourselves, it's much easier for us to have compassion for others as well. And a lot of people are wanting to stop being judgmental. They want to have more love for people. They're wanting to feel more positive things for other people. But until you clean up your act towards yourself, it's going to be very difficult for you to have those nice feelings towards other people. Before we dive in though, my name is Sandra. I am the author of Tapping into Abundance, using EFT tapping and the law of attraction to change your mindset and turn your life around. And if you want to do just that, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos. If you want to know where to do this sort of work for yourself, like what is shadow work? What is all of this inner work about? What are negative beliefs and what do they mean? And how do they affect me energetically? I have a free video. It's called How to Heal Your Shadow Through Balancing Your Energy Centers. And your energy centers are the chakras. And at each chakra level, you will have various different beliefs that are affecting that particular chakra. And each chakra has a connection to the way that we navigate our way through life, the feelings we have about ourselves, negative and positive. And when we clear those beliefs and we clear those chakras and they're functioning properly, we can have a totally different experience of life. We can have more joy, more happiness, more of a sense of a vision for ourselves, more purpose, and be able to then work your potential rather than feeling stuck and stifled. So you can download that free masterclass. There's a link in the description field below this video, and you can also grab yourself a copy of it on my website under the freebies tab. And the website is mysterywitchschool.com. So when it comes to negative self-talk, it's understanding what that is. And that's when you're talking to yourself in a very negative way. You're putting yourself down. And you may not even be aware that you're doing it on a conscious level, because a lot of it occurs subconsciously. But when you sit down and you ask yourself, why am I not doing this? Why am I stopping myself from taking that action or doing this thing? And you allow yourself to either journal or talk out loud and record yourself, you'll probably find that you're saying one of these, or maybe more than one of these 5 things. And that could be, I'm not good enough. That's probably the top one. I am not good enough. A lot of us feel that we're not good enough in some way, shape or form to do the things that we're wanting to do, to have the things we want to have, even to have the relationships we want to have. Another negative thought or self-talk is, I always mess up, or things never work out for me. And these things may seem true and they may feel true, and you may even have some evidence to back it up that, maybe things have messed up in the past. But just because things have gone wrong in the past doesn't mean they're going to go wrong in the present or future. You still have the choice as to whether that happens. But if you stay with the same feelings and the same behavior as you exhibited in the past, then you most likely will have similar results in the future. So it's about changing the way that you think, which changes the way that you feel, which changes the way that you behave, so that from the present onwards, you're starting to change the way that you do things, and that will change what happens to you. Things won't be the same when you change your beliefs and you change your assumptions, and it works its way down through to your behavior. Another belief might be, I don't deserve happiness. Now that could be from any reason. It might have been an incident that happened in your childhood, or it might just be an underlying belief that you have and you can't put your finger on why you'd even have that belief. It doesn't make sense, yet for some reason it feels true. And if it feels true, it is going to impact your behavior, whether you're conscious of it or not. Another belief might be, I'm a failure. Maybe you've had a few failures. But just because you've had some failures doesn't make you a failure. A failure is saying you're a failure is an identity. You're identifying yourself as a failure, and you're not a failure, you're a human being. And you might be a human being who's failed, but you're still a human being. And again, just because you've failed in the past doesn't mean that you will continue to fail into the future. Another belief is, I need to be perfect to be worthy. So you're striving for perfection, and if you can't get it perfect, then you don't feel that you're worthy. And that stops a lot of people from doing the things they want to do, creating the life they want to create, starting that business, doing that artwork. You're putting yourself out there. It's that belief that you've got to be perfect to do it, and there's no such thing as perfection. It doesn't actually exist. The only perfection in the world is the perfection of nature. And we know that nature doesn't get things, what we would consider, perfect. Everything about nature is different. And nature does her own version of perfect. So stop striving for something that you're never going to achieve, because perfection just doesn't exist. It's like somebody keeps moving the goalpost. Every time you get to perfection, it kind of moves even further. So what can you do about these beliefs? Well, you can use emotional freedom technique to tap on them and become aware of them. That's great. But tapping on the actual belief itself doesn't actually get rid of the belief. It just brings it to your awareness. And when it comes to your awareness, then you can start to have cognitive shifts. What I like to do is, once you've tapped on the belief and you've got it fully into your awareness, is to reframe it in some way as you're tapping, so that you start to suggest to your subconscious mind something different. You give your subconscious program an upgrade. You're upgrading the program. It's like a computer. You're going to reprogram it with an upgrade, so that it's not running the same old program over and over and over again. It's moved on. So that's where the reframes come in. So I'm going to do a little bit of tapping, and then I'm going to do the reframes, and you can get an idea of what you can do when you find what your beliefs are. So I'm just going to start on the points. I'm not going to do the karate chop point, and I'm going to use those 5 examples of the negative self-talk that I just gave before. I know I feel I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I believe I'm not good enough. It's a belief. And it feels real. I believe I'm not good enough. Not good enough. It feels real. And I really feel it. But what if it's just a belief? What if it's not true? What if I am good enough? What if I am good enough? What if I actually am good enough? What if I'm good enough? What if I'm actually good enough? So that's an example of what you can do with the belief of I'm not good enough. You can start to, as you're tapping, reframe it, put a what if and change it to, well, what if I'm wrong? What if I am good enough? What if, even though it felt true, it's not true? What if it's not true? What if it's just a belief? And you're suggesting to the subconscious mind new suggestions, and the subconscious mind will be open to new suggestions. It won't be told what to do, it won't be forced into change, but it will be open to suggestions. And a lot of the time our beliefs about ourselves came through that channel in the first place as suggestions. Either something we've assumed from observing the people around us as we were growing up, or something that somebody suggested to us. The next belief is I always mess up. So once again, you'll just go through the belief, I always mess up. Always messing up. I'm always messing up. And I have proof. That I always mess up. And And I'm tired of telling myself that. I don't like it. And what if sometimes I do mess up? We all do from time to time. What if it's okay to mess up from time to time? What if I'm allowed to mess up sometimes? And what if I don't always mess up? What if sometimes things go smoothly? What if I can forgive myself for messing up and be safe at the same time? What if it's okay to be someone who messes up occasionally? What if messing up doesn't make me a bad person? So that kind of tapping isn't like you're trying to do the opposite. It's not like you're trying to force the subconscious into believing you've never messed up, because we do all mess up. It's just something humans do. It's allowing yourself to do that. It's giving yourself permission to mess up on occasion, and also letting yourself know that you don't always mess up. Sometimes things do go smoothly. And the more that you work on that, you can start to find other ways of reframing your way into understanding that although you may mess up from time to time, or you've messed up in the past, it doesn't mean that you're going to continue to mess up in the future. The other beliefs of, I don't deserve happiness can be reframed into, well, what if I do deserve happiness? What if I can be happy? What if I'm allowed to be happy? And to tap on those. If you've got the belief, I'm a failure, where you've labeled yourself a failure, you can always give yourself permission to be a failure from time to time. What if I can fail and still be a good person? What if I can fail and be safe at the same time? What if everyone fails from time to time? What if just because I failed in the past doesn't mean I have to keep failing in the future? What if I have been a success? What if I can be a success? What if I can be successful? And keep tapping on all of those variations to start your subconscious mind thinking outside the box and its habitual way of thinking. And the last one, I need to be perfect to be worthy. Well, what if I don't have to be perfect to be worthy? What if I can be imperfect and be safe at the same time? What if I can be imperfect and still be worthy? And tap as you're saying these things. What if I can be worthy and imperfect at the same time? Because perfection, as I said, doesn't necessarily exist. So if you're tapping on what if I am perfect just as I am, that's another way around it. What if I am perfect just as I am? What if I'm perfect just as I am? Warts and all, imperfections and all. What if I'm perfect in my imperfection? These are all ways that you can use reframes to change these beliefs for yourself. So be creative with it. Find all of the different ways that you can reframe something and have fun with it, because the more fun you have with these things, the more of an imprint it's going to have on your subconscious mind. And if you're tapping at the same time, it is going to help shift things. And you just need to keep doing it. Every time you find a negative belief, keep churning away at it and flipping it and changing it and adding things and finding where it really starts to feel like it's shifting something. You may have to find a few variations for it to shift, but play with it. There's no right or wrong way of doing this, really. It's about you trying to create something that's giving you more of an understanding of the truth of the situation, and also changing your beliefs about it at the same time, because often we aren't good enough at everything, so there are going to be things that we're not as good at as other people are. There's going to be times when we mess up. There's going to be times when we're imperfect, which is probably most of the time, considering perfection doesn't really exist. And as far as deserving, well, everybody does deserve happiness. What if everyone deserves happiness? regardless of what they've done. The same with failure, and the same with needing to be perfect to be worthy. So if you do want to work with me one-on-one on any of the beliefs, that they're very stubborn and they're getting in your way, or you're just having trouble trying to figure all this out for yourself and you feel you want to work with me and do some one-on-one coaching, you can book a free clarity session. There's a link in the description field below this video. If you want to work on your own and do a DIY course, I actually have a tapping course. It is called the Wheels of Empowerment, and it taps through each of the chakras so that you can clear each chakra, starting from the root chakra all the way to the crown chakra, with all of the beliefs in each chakra that are keeping you stuck and stifled at that level. So do take a look at Wheels of Empowerment. There's a link in the description field below this video, almost forgot to tell you that. And also on my website you can find all of these links as well, and the website is mysterywitchschool.com. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, don't forget to subscribe. My name is Sandra, and I'll see you on the next video.